This is the CBC Morning Report for Thursday, May 4th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, the U.S. Federal Reserve has hiked its interest rates by 25 basis points to 5.25%, the highest in 16 years, and the 10th consecutive increase. Most economic analysts are describing yesterday's increase as a crisis of confidence in the U.S. financial sector. Here to tell us how it could impact the local economy is economist Professor Justin Robinson. Good morning to you, Professor Robinson.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Tisha, and good day to your viewing audience.
It's
Yes,
good to have
well,
you with us. First of all, what's your take on this latest development? We know that early on we had a few banks in LA fall, and now we're seeing other banks, mid-sized banks fall as well. We saw a takeover of another bank earlier this week. So what's your take on this latest development?
Okay, so as we are aware, the U.S. central banks, European central banks, Bank of England, their main job is to manage inflation. That, I mean, if you sort of put it in their context, the society says to their central bank, you have one job, to keep inflation under control. And that target rate is 2%. Now, inflation has been significantly above that, 5 and 6%. And as a result of that, these central banks have been raising interest rates in an attempt to bring inflation down to their target rate. Now, as the central banks raise rates, like the U.S. Federal Reserve did yesterday, these rates are what we call in financial markets benchmark rates. And benchmark rates are essentially interest rates that serve as a reference point for all other interest rates. So as those interest rates go up and down, other interest rates go up and down. So one of the most widely used is the LIBOR rate, the London Interbank Offer Rate, which is a rate for loans between big banks globally. And again, that's a key benchmark rate that sets borrowing costs. So as those costs go up, interest rates across the board go up. So that was a factor in the failure of the banks that you mentioned earlier, because a number of these banks were holding government bonds, and as interest rates go up, bond prices go down. And then you asked about the implications for us in Barbados. And one of the implications arises from the fact that since about 2018, after the debt restructuring in Barbados, Barbados as a country has relied much more on foreign financing than ever before, much of it coming from the multilateral banks, World Bank, IDB, CDB, and so on. And a lot of those loans are set with a rate where something like LIBOR is the base. So the interest rate would be quoted as LIBOR plus something. So as LIBOR and other rates go up, it has a dramatic effect on the interest rates. So to give you an example, in May of 2021, the 12-month LIBOR interest rate was 0.26%. By May of 2022, that had gone up to 2.68%. And as of yesterday, it was 5.37%. So you can imagine a loan that you took in 2020 at LIBOR plus 1%. Your interest rate would be 1.26% in May of 2021. By May of 2022, that would have gone up to 3.68%. And if it were reset today, it would be 6.37%. So there's really that knock-on effect on borrowing costs and interest rates for any loans that are indexed to LIBOR or any of these other benchmark rates. And just coincidentally, LIBOR will be phased out in June of this year and replaced by another benchmark rate, the the secured overnight financing rate, the SOFR.
All right. Now, because of this rate, the LIBOR, and as you mentioned, obviously it's one of the best known and most important interest rates across the world until the change. How will all that is happening affect us here in Barbados?
As I said, the effect here is primarily on the government finances, where interest rates on foreign debt are going to go up once those loans were indexed or benchmarked against LIBOR or SOFR. And our foreign debt has gone up significantly since 2008 because with the debt restructuring and really limited domestic bond financing for the government, there's been a heavy reliance on the multilateral development banks to provide that financing. And those loans, the interest rates on them are often linked to LIBOR. So the government is seeing increased interest costs on its loans.
All right. What does that mean for the average person? If the rates of interest for on foreign borrowing goes up, what will that lead to down the line for the average Barbadian?
Well, for the average Barbadian, the major effect is going to be through the impact on government finances. If government has to pay significantly more on debt service than had been previously estimated, then that extra money has to come from somewhere. Either the government raises additional revenue, cuts other forms of expenditure, or we have more borrowing. So that's the most immediate effect. Now, interestingly, the government of Barbados is sort of taking a different approach where it's saying, okay, we enter these loans at these rates, but these spikes or increases are unprecedented, and the global financial system must respond or should respond in a way that offers countries like Barbados and other developing countries some form of relief for these spikes in interest rates which have nothing to do with us. So that's a part of an ongoing debate between Barbados and other developing countries as they struggle under the increased debt service costs coming out of these increases in interest rates.
Now, we heard that U.S. Fed Chair Powell said just yesterday that with all that's going on and the lack of confidence in the financial services sector in the U.S., it could mean that they could probably slip into a mild recession. So all of these things, I would imagine, could have a true knock-on effect. Do you believe that these aggressive increases are going to lead to a recession?
Well, one of the objectives of raising the interest rates is to slow the economy down. I mean, that is sort of a very crude and blunt tool for fighting inflation. Prices are rising, so you want to cool the economy down. So you increase the cost of borrowing as a way of reducing spending because people have less access to finance. Finance is more expensive. So yes, we expect cooling, and that is the desired effect. I think the open-ended question is it going to be a hard landing or soft landing? In some ways, the good news is that in the press conference yesterday, the Fed chairman sent a strong hint that this could be the last of increases or in terms of the Fed funds rate. So I expect the Fed funds rate to remain high because the inflation rate is still significantly above the target. But the sort of sharp increases and continued rate hikes, I don't expect that to continue unless there's some significant data coming in showing that inflation is not slowing down.
Yeah, I believe there have been 15 or 16 to date, something of that nature. So, you know, what would you say are your expectations moving forward, or generally happening with the banking sector and all of the offshoot things that are happening as a result?
My expectation from the signal from the Fed chairman yesterday is that unless data comes in pointing that inflation is not coming down as fast or rising further, faster than expected, then I expect these rate hikes to slow. But because of the significant gap between the target inflation rate of 2% and the current inflation rate more around 5%, I expect these rates to remain high. So the borrowing costs for developing countries like us are going to remain high for the foreseeable future. I will say the next 2 to 3 years until these rates adjust downwards. And the open-ended question is whether and what will be the degree of slowing down in the US and UK economies as they continue this battle against inflation and the knock-on effects for us. And weaker banks in the US and the developed world, mid-sized banks, banks that don't have strong balance sheets. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more bank failures.
All right, well, thank you so much, Professor Robinson, for shedding some light on what's happening in the U.S. banking sector for us here in Barbados. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, Russia charges Ukraine made an assassination attempt on President Putin.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences.
Well, Russia has accused Ukraine of attempting an overnight drone attack on the Kremlin with the aim of killing President Vladimir Putin. It's the most dramatic charge Moscow has leveled against Kyiv since the war on its neighbor began.
This is what the Kremlin says was an attempt on the life of Vladimir Putin. An object is intercepted by air defences. Russia says it was a drone, one of two that officials say were launched by Ukraine in an audacious attack aimed at the Kremlin complex. 2 unmanned aerial vehicles were aimed at the Kremlin, an official statement reads. As a result of timely actions taken by the military and special services with the use of radar warfare systems, the devices were put out of action. We regard these actions as a planned terrorist act and an attempt on the president's life. President Putin is not thought to have been in the Kremlin at the time. The thinking appears to be that it was a dry run. In the footage in front of the Kremlin walls, it's evident that preparations are underway for Victory Day celebrations on May the 9th, an event that Putin plans to attend.
That May 9th at 10 o'clock in the morning, Putin has to be in the Red Square at the stand to observe the Victory Day parade. And that's at the time of the day and year, 9th of May, 10 o'clock, when Putin's itinerary is well known, way in advance, he should be there. So, and the Kremlin said that this alleged drone attack was a dry run, a preparation for May the 9th, when Putin will be vulnerable because his whereabouts are known in advance.
It is a theory that not everyone is convinced about.
I've seen the reports. I can't in any way validate them. We simply don't know. Second, I would take anything coming out of the Kremlin with a very large shaker of salt. So, let's see.
On a visit to Finland, President Zelensky denied Ukraine's involvement.
We don't attack Putin or Moscow. We fight on our territory. We are defending our villages and cities. We don't have, enough weapon for this.
Yet even as air raid sirens sounded in the Ukrainian capital, the mere possibility that Ukraine had struck a blow at the heart of Russian power was thrilling for some.
My classmates and I have been talking about this all day. It's very cool. I'm very joyful. It's lifted my spirits.
In its official statement, the Kremlin said it reserves the right to take retaliatory measures where and when it sees fit.
All right, time now to review what's coming up on Morning Barbados. Today, the Methodist Church will be in to talk all about their Circuit Youth Rally. John Delaney and Gambo Balsam will be in to talk to us about what's happening there. Plus, the National Sports Council's senior fitness classes, they're coming up, and we're going to tell you how you can get involved. Roberta Dowell of the National Sports Council will be here. Our featured exceptional youth for the day will be coming through, and of course they are exceptional in many ways. We're going to tell you how you can help Deshaun Howell fight cancer, and we feature some other young people in the latest Barbados CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, Ashley Lashley and Shakeem Howell. We will talk to them. Plus, we're going to tell you all about something new with RBC Mortgage Options. That's all coming up on Morning Barbados. But right now, time to give you an update of news and sports and weather, and that's all coming up after the break.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are
The final report on the alleged cell phone, which was found in an interview room at a police station, will soon be on the desk of the Commissioner of Police. The incident was reported where an attorney was with a suspect, and during the interview, a phone taped under a table fell to the floor. CBC News was informed by Police Commissioner Richard Boyce that the file will soon be on his desk because the investigator has submitted it to his superior officer, and thereafter it will come to him. Commissioner Boyce, however, indicated that before any findings can be revealed to the media, he has to peruse the file and inform other relevant parties. The Bar Association on April 5th had complained about the time being taken to check the matter, and also about the police service investigating itself. A check with the association said they have not received any formal or verbal information to date about the matter. There has been no official response as yet from local law enforcement officials after a High Court judge in Trinidad and Tobago described the detention and subsequent repatriation of a Trinidadian by police here in Barbados as abduction. While delivering his scathing judgment, Justice Devendra Rampersad also dismissed the criminal proceedings brought against Brent Thomas, a firearms dealer. The judge's assessment of what happened in Barbados to Thomas has prompted Attorney General Dale Marshall to call on Police Commissioner Richard Boyce to investigate the matter. Reports suggest Thomas was first arrested on September 29th of 2022 and later released. He was rearrested while in Barbados on his way to Miami for medical treatment. Thomas was returned to Trinidad and Tobago, where he was later charged with possession of a series of weapons, including grenades and rifles. Over the weekend, Trinidad and Tobago opposition legislator Dr. Rudal Monilal said that Barbados government had questions to answer regarding the findings of the High Court judge about the manner in which Thomas was detained and returned to the Twin Island Republic. Barbadians seem to be happy that the number portability is now possible, and they have been changing their provider options to suit their comfort. Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology Davidson Ishmael told the Morning Report that the response has been positive.
We've had scores of persons who have made those decisions to change from one service provider to the other. We know that there has been a demand for many years for individuals to have a level of flexibility in being able to choose their service provider as they deemed necessary, being able to move from one without the hassle of having to change your telephone number is something that persons will have been indicating in Barbados that they wanted to have that option and that flexibility and that comfort for quite some time. And we're glad that in the beginning of this year, we were able to with tremendous assistance from the two major telecom companies, we were able to launch number portability, local number portability, which allows a person to now make those decisions as they deem necessary. And if you want to change your service provider, you can do so without having the hassle of having to alert all of your customers if you're a business person, or all of your family members if you're a private individual, without having to alert them to the fact that you would have changed your telephone number and therefore change your service provider.
And while not able to give precise numbers at this time, the minister says they will continue to monitor.
We're continuing to monitor it because we, as the regulator of the telecoms industry and the telecom providers, we have a responsibility and a duty of care to the citizens of Barbados to monitor telecoms to see how these types of initiatives are actually being executed. And from our report so far, we've been able to see a high degree of comfort with how things have been going, and people have been porting the numbers successfully from one carrier to the next. So I am pleased and satisfied that it is going according to plan, and we will continue to look to the future towards any other initiatives and programs or strategies and policies that will allow the people of Barbados to be able to, one, do business in a more competitive way, but also just at the level of the private citizen being able to do it, being able to make decisions that suit them, that are in their best interests.
One of the CBC's most popular radio stations celebrated a major milestone yesterday. Q100.7 FM has now been in existence for just shy of 2 decades. CBC's Ryan Broom has that story.
Q100.7 FM continues to grow by leaps and bounds. And the CBC's marketing specialist, Nicole Collins, says there is much to celebrate for the station that gave birth to the popular Q in the community.
In the 60th year for the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, we thought it pertinent to celebrate each anniversary for each of our brands. Hence, we're celebrating QFM's 19th anniversary. QFM connecting with the mature audience, those shut-ins, those persons. We have a large overseas audience. And if you follow us on social media, you will see we have persons from all over the world who are connecting with QFM and by extension Q in the community, which came out of QFM, that community-based event. Weekly, we want to invite everyone to come out and celebrate Q's 19th anniversary tomorrow. QFM celebrating with Q in the community with CBC.
Meanwhile, popular Q100.7 FM personality Jaquila Lady J. Lewis took a stroll down memory lane today as she called 3 of the original Q100.7 FM crew in veterans Tony Thompson, Sam Wilkinson and Wendell Ford. She says the station continues to stay true to its roots by keeping in touch with the community.
It has been phenomenal serving the Q audience over the past 19 years. Q100.7 FM, you know, we are the heart of the community and we bring to you family radio. Of course, we have that more mature audience. We have the shut-ins. We have those individuals who are just at home and the only company they have is the radio. And it has been an absolute pleasure serving you over the years. We say a special thanks to our audience for being here with us over the years, seeing the many changes and being loyal to us, and also a special thanks to our sponsors as well. We look forward to serving you for many more years to come right here on Q100.7 FM.
So a very happy birthday, Q100.7 FM. Now the next Q in the community takes place Thursday, May 4th at the Boobalicious Premium Lounge Sports Bar and Grill in Sanford, St. Philip. Do be sure to come out and be a part of it. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
Thank you, Ryan, and happy birthday, Q. Well, further afield, the Guyana National Road Safety Council has welcomed calls made by President Irfan Ali to create a comprehensive traffic strategy by the police to curb road lawlessness and fatalities. NCN-TV has that report.
This call has further boosted the drive by the GNRSC to focus on educational strategies that will aid in reducing accidents and fatalities on the country's roadways. This includes the White Night campaign, which Durjan says is intended to be held bi-monthly.
We feel enforcement education helps the drivers to slow down and also helps them to understand the seriousness of what happened. Whenever the Minister of Home Affairs is out there, or myself or the chairman or any road safety council member is out there with the police, we remind the drivers of the statistics and how much persons die in our road so far. And with that, we think we kind of bring some kind of education to them. And we feel this is one of the things we've seen that help to curb the lawlessness.
Meanwhile, Durjan adds that the GNRSC is also working with all the relevant agencies to implement the license demerit point system to further aid in curbing road lawlessness. The demerit point system under Act 12 of 2014 of the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Amendment Act was assented to back in 2014 by then President Donald Ramotar.
That is where we had the ID card, the driver's license came out like an ID, and then that is where we had the ticketing system came out. So the three were supposed to complement each other. The license was supposed to be able, so when the police swipe the license, the data management system would have seen if this person had an infringement on the license before, if they have demerit points. Because of the change of administration between 2014 and after, we found that they did not continue to put a data management system in place, a network system between the magistrate court, GRA, and the police.
The demerit point system provides for the suspension of a motorist's license for up to 1 year based on the number of demerits. The bill states that where a person is convicted of a traffic offense, the court shall, in addition to the punishment, order demerit points specified in relation to the offense.
Time now to take a look at sports. A half-century from Kaveen Hodge was the only bright spark for Team Headley on day one of the third and final match of the Headley Weeks Tri-Series in Antigua yesterday. Playing at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, Team Headley were dismissed for 177 in 65.2 overs after winning the toss and batting against Team Weeks. Hodge scored 67 inclusive of 10 fours, while Akeem Jordan added 37 in an otherwise below-par batting effort. Dominic Drakes took 3 for 17, while Versami Permal grabbed 3 for 16 to record 600 first-class wickets. We have some highlights.
To Powell.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
Team Weeks will resume later this morning on 61 for 3, trailing by 116 runs. It's time now to take a look at what's happening weather-wise. The barometric pressure stands at 1014.5 millibars, air temperature 26.5 degrees. Humidity stands at 86%, and the winds are coming out of the southeast at 20 kilometers per hour. General conditions outside, partly cloudy. As far as sea conditions are concerned, it's moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2 meters. Your second high tide will come at 15:21 and the second low at 20:56. It's going to be a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief scattered light to moderate showers today, at first becoming mostly sunny and warm. And later this evening, it will be mostly clear. Here's a look at a few select cities, ranging from a low of 7 in Boston to 22 in Miami. Temperatures are definitely warming up across the globe. And that's the morning report. Coming up next, Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
That's right, a special good morning to you. Good to have you in company. It's May the 4th, already Thursday. We're racing through another week, and I'm so happy that you decided to wake up and spend a little time with us here on Morning Barbados for today. We're into a new month already, so there's lots happening, lots to do, and we most certainly will make sure that you are up to speed on what's going on here in Barbados, across the region, and across the world. All right, so I'm going to tell you about what's coming up on today's show so that you will know you have to stick around for those of you heading out to work and school. I know it might be a little difficult, but, you know, as much time as you can spend with us, we're happy that you made the choice to do that. All right, so coming up today, the Methodist Church, they have a circuit youth rally, and John Delaney, who's the general director at the South Caribbean Youth, and Gamble Balsam of the James Street Spitestown Circuit Youth Rally, they're going to be here to talk to us all about it. It's something coming up on Sunday, May 7th, and they're going to share more, so you definitely want to listen in for that. It's all about the group, the significance of the event, and what you can expect to hear about it. Always good to hear about youth getting involved with philanthropy and volunteering and being involved with work with the church and so on. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that, especially if you have young people in your life who you're looking for something for them to do. Always great to have a few extracurricular activities going on or on the horizon, at least for you to choose for them. And as we continue to salute our young people, we're saluting a number of exceptional youth in Ashley Lashley and Shaquem Howell, who are both Barbados CARICOM Youth Ambassadors. Recent names, but we've been hearing those names in philanthropic circles for quite some time and in doing work with youth as well. So we look forward to speaking with both of them and, of course, congratulating them right here on Morning Barbados for all the work that they've been doing over the past couple years to get where they are now, youth ambassadors for Barbados. Another exceptional youth feature, Deshaun Howell. We are going to share that story with you again. It was very touching, and it's a worthwhile cause that we want you to really look into and be a part of it, because whatever we share, we just want to start the conversation, but we want you to look into it and see if it's something that you want to be a part of as well. I'm sure you will once you see it. Plus, if you're in the market for a mortgage, we're going to tell you where you can find the best options. RBC, of course, they will be here to share with us later this morning, so you can take all the guesswork out of what you need to do and where you need to go, because we will share all the information with you. Plus, we are back to playing a wonderful game of Unscramble. We know you love that. So who knows? Put your thinking caps on and let's see if you will be able to unscramble some words a little later right here on Morning Barbados. Remember, you can watch us online on YouTube. We are streaming there, and we're on Facebook as well. So for those of you watching across the diaspora, or if you have relatives who would like to get a little taste of what's happening here in Barbados, you should absolutely tell them to follow us so that they can watch the morning program as well. I know there's a very active WhatsApp group. It's actually called the Morning Barbados group. And I'm in the WhatsApp. Shane Seeley is in there. Cassandra is in there. So good morning to all of the members of the Morning Barbados WhatsApp group. Shondine, especially, she's very vocal. And there are quite a few other people. So I'm going to give them some shout outs as we go through the other mornings. So we told you that we were also going to have the Sports Council represented this morning to tell us all about the senior fitness classes that are coming up. So let's go right ahead and welcome Roberta Dowell of the National Sports Council to Morning Barbados. Good morning, Roberta.
Good morning, Tisha. How are you?
I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic this morning. Excited to share this info with everyone.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so the National Sports Council senior fitness classes. Tell us more.
So the council decided that we need to do something for our seniors who might be at home, some of who are working still, just to get them engaged and keep them active. So we've decided to host a series of senior fitness programs. They happen Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day, and they're led by our bodybuilding and trained professional coach, Mr. Valence Humphrey. This week, we've been trying to do assessments during that same time so that seniors can come and have their status checked to see if they're able to do certain exercises to make sure they have a clean bill of health, or at least inform us of any ailments they may have so that our coach knows how to proceed. And we also just generally don't want to, put them by the wayside. And while we focus on the developmental stage of athletes, we still have to take care of our seniors. So each class cost is $10. Remember, it happens between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And some of the benefits of those programs will see a reduction in the rate of secondary aging, improved cognition, improved cardiorespiratory systems, improved balance and coordination, increase your range of motion, and work on mobility training, and of course, maintain muscle mass and educate you about movement generally. So the wellness center, I beg your pardon, has been open since late last year. Unfortunately, it's not open to members of the public for use because we're letting our national athletes who are registered and members of clubs at the developmental level use the actual equipment in the fitness center, but the classes are open to members of the public. And Tisha, if you want to take a chance and participate in a boot camp class or an abs class or a flexibility class or even a spin class, we have those as well for the general public.
I'm wondering why you said if I want to take the chance, Roberta.
No.
I'm kidding. All right, so you said that the classes run between 10 and 1, but what's the duration of the classes? So, if people want to come staggered depending on the time, what's the duration, or when do the classes start?
So the classes start at 10, and you can come at any time between those hours.
Okay.
So we know sometimes transportation might be an issue. So you might get a bus at 10 o'clock and you won't get there at 11. So, you can still have a workout between 11 and 12 and so on. So it's not restricted to 1 hour because we understand those challenges. So if you come at any time between 10 and 1, our coach will make sure to take you through the paces.
And these are things that, once you're a certain age, I'm sure a lot of people know, this is not something to take lightly. I'm happy that you talked about the many benefits that can be derived from, getting in some exercise. But those assessments that you talked about are very, very important as well, so that your coaches know exactly what's happening with you. Exercise can become a very personal thing. So I would imagine if you're doing it with the National Sports Council, then, this is one of the best places for you to go to be able to capitalize on what's being offered for seniors.
Yeah, and I find that seniors don't have many places to go and have structured workouts. And we notice that deficiency and we are seeking to fill it.
All right, so let's talk about the registration once again so people know exactly what they can do. I believe it started May the 2nd?
Yes, it started May the 2nd and it runs through to tomorrow. However, that does not mean that if you come, next week or the week after that, we can't assess you. But it is important for us to do the assessment, as you can imagine, so that we are better able to serve those people participating. So it's key, if you don't come this week, come next week, but just come and participate. You'll have your assessment done, and we'll talk to you to see if there are any ailments, any issues that you may have, a clean bill of health if necessary from your doctor, so that we know how to proceed safely, and that's key, Tisha.
Absolutely. Now, for me, I think about these things holistically, because in addition to seniors coming out and maybe seeing improved health and learning more about their bodies and movement and so on, you will also have an opportunity to meet some people of your age and stuff like that. And once you're able to engage with others, it's always an added benefit. I find when people go off retire these days, there's no shortage of things to do. I walked through the front door here at CBC just yesterday, and a lady said to me, "Oh, hi, I went to Peru with your mother." And I was thinking, oh, wait, my mother went to Peru. Once people retire, there's lots to do. And they have a lot of groups, so you can get your group together, come, make sure you sign up. And another thing for you to add to that calendar of things to do.
Yeah, and just grow your community as well, because you're going to meet people that you don't know, and you're able to have, your workout buddy. If somebody from your group doesn't come, you have that person, that you look forward to going to the gym with.
All right, Roberta, I want to thank you for coming through. And I have an admission. You were talking about some of those classes available. I have never, and people don't believe me when I say this, I have never done spin. Never, ever.
Really?
Really?
No, Tisha.
Yes.
It is such a fun
way to
get in some
exciting.
cardio. Yeah, it's such a fun way to get in some cardio, and you work at your own pace, So same with our boot camp class, same with our flexibility and mobility class. I did the abs, glutes, and legs class yesterday. It was a killer, but you work at your own pace. So don't let that intimidate you, Tisha. I hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Please check out our Facebook and Instagram pages, along with our website, for more information on classes, times, and we actually have the schedule up on our Facebook and Instagram pages. And if in doubt, just give us a call, get our contact information from the NSC Instagram and Facebook page. Give us a call, register for classes, or just simply to find out more information.
All right, thank you so much for coming through and sharing. Remember, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., just $10 a class. Registration runs up until Friday, May 5th. And you can just go on over and be a part of it. Thank you for sharing. I think it will be a wonderful initiative. Do come on back and let us know how it goes.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
Tisha.
right. Thank you. Have a great day. All right, something just for seniors. I love it when we share with seniors. Okay, we're going to take a break. And when we come back here on Morning Barbados, we are talking to the Methodist Church about a rally coming up. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Matchback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back to Morning Barbados. Just about 14 minutes to go before the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to give you an update as what's coming up news-wise at the top of the hour. And we go all the way through until 8 this morning. Of course, you have a repeat after, and like I said, you can watch online. Now, we often give you all these Instagram pages and Facebook pages. I'm just wondering if you actually go follow. All right. So I pulled out the phone and I was making sure that I, looked at the page we talked about with the National Sports Council just now. So I am getting my follow on as we speak to make sure that, I get the frequent updates. So how the algorithms work on social media, just in case you don't understand it so well, is, once you go follow these pages, depending on how often they put posts up and information, then it would run across what they call your feed. So you're able to go on and look at it. That, of course, was for people who are a little more senior than myself and not so tech savvy, but I know the little ones know technology, as we would say in Bajan parlance, like the back of their hands. So just a little note for you. Make sure you follow these pages. Some of you maybe are a little averse to technology because you didn't grow up with it, but that's the way of the world. That's where we are now, and there's so much you can do with technology these days that you definitely need to look into it. Even though a lot of people are talking about how rapidly technology is changing, particularly now with artificial intelligence. Quite recently, I read that a radio station recently, just last week, they actually did a full broadcast by cloning the voices of their presenters, and the artificial intelligence ran the entire broadcast day. So maybe before you know it, I'll be out of a job and there will be a clone of a presenter sitting here in a chair and I'll be home in bed like you. All right, so I promised you that we were going to speak with some members of the Methodist Church, and we're talking about the James Street Spitestown Circuit presenting Triumph with Jesus Youth Rally is coming up on Sunday, May 7th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the Ann Gill Memorial Methodist Church car park. John Delaney is here to join us this morning to tell us more. Good morning to you, John.
Hi, good morning. Happy to be here.
All right, good to have you here. We had a little bit of a rocky start there with you. I know the internet can be a little temperamental. That's why I look forward to having people in studio here with me, so I'm not so lonely in the morning sitting here talking to a screen. Anyways, tell me about this youth rally that you have coming up.
Right, so this would be our first in a while, first definitely since the pandemic. Just a way as a circuit of bringing together all the youth and young adults and older persons from across the 20 churches, in the 20 Methodist churches in the circuit. A wonderful evening of praise, a wonderful evening of worship. There'll be dynamic preaching, and we'll have some highlighted items from our pattern group, from our dancers, from our praise team. And so we're just looking forward to, again, a wonderful evening of praise and worship.
So tell me about your youth membership. I know as a young member of the Nazarene Church, we had a very vibrant youth membership. Just yesterday, I met up with someone. We used to go to youth camp. We would have youth nights. It was very, very active. So tell me about the youth membership, even outside of this rally.
So definitely I would say a pretty passionate one. In a meeting just yesterday, I was telling some of our committee members that although it might not be seen as many youth coming back out to church as we would have had probably during the pandemic, what we have seen in those that are still involved is that they have a certain level of ownership, a certain level of passion for the things of Christ. So you see, when they are given the opportunity to lead, when they're given the opportunity to kind of take over the reins, you see that passion being exuded. One of the big showcases of that is the establishment of South Caribbean Youth, our district's youth commission. Prior to, I believe it was 2021, we had no district body for youth and young adults. But coming out of 2021, we were able to establish that commission, which gave youth the ability to kind of take over the ministry to youth and young adults across the islands, not only here in Barbados, but Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia. And so we're definitely happy with the passion that we're seeing from youth and young adults.
Oh my goodness. Am I getting this right? Are you the General Director of the South Caribbean Youth?
Yes.
I am so impressed with you and your passion for what you're talking about. I can tell that it truly is something that you are passionate about doing, and that means a great deal. So congratulations to you and the team, and I certainly hope it is very successful. We're now joined by Gambo Bolsam, James Street Spikestown Circuit Youth. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tisha.
All right, he finally got here. So we were talking a little bit about all the activities that the youth are involved in across the denomination, across the church. So talk to us a little bit more about your thoughts on how actively engaged the youth of your ministry generally are.
Yeah, I'm going to put it this way. I came in to the island 2019. And this is a testimony I'm going to give. When I came in, I found out that the youth here are not really active. But over the time, I have seen them grown in their faith, and they have started taking responsibilities, especially leadership responsibilities. And they have been intentional in their faith development. So we give glory to God for that. And one thing that I am very excited about is how the church has been intentional about the ministry among youth and young people in the island. So this youth rally is one of the many programs that we have. We're trying to create an excitement among our youth and young people. What we have noticed is that they have been asking a lot of questions about God, about life, and they're dealing with real life issues. So it has become our own sole responsibility now to engage them in any way we can through the social media, face-to-face, in the schools, in different platforms. So over the time, this has been working out, and we continue to do more. So the youth rally is one of the many programs that we have on the island.
And it sounds like it's going to be amazing. Can you break down for me a little more? I'm going to head back to you, John. Some of the things that will make up this youth rally. Some of the things that will be done. I heard you, Gambo, talking about use of social media and things like that, which are very, very important to attract and keep youth engaged. So talk to us about what will be happening throughout the rally.
Definitely. So I guess one of the big highlights would be dance. We have two sets of dance groups from across the circuit that will be involved. So we definitely look forward to their offering. Steel pan as well. Definitely as a Caribbean church, as a Caribbean island, we love the use of our Caribbean instruments, and so the steel pan group at the post-church Angle Memorial Day will be featuring pretty heavily as well. The praise team is a bit of a mixed circuit praise team, but we had rehearsed up to yesterday, and I can tell you that it's definitely going to be amazing. Persons are gelling pretty well, and we definitely look forward to that praise. What also will be happening is some interactive aspects. So the praise of intercession, for example, what will be kind of happening during that is I will be taking aspects of scripture and turning those into prayers which will be offered. One of the things which we see is that we kind of get intimidated by the idea of prayer. And so what we're definitely hoping to do through this rally and beyond is that even with that good book, the Bible, just flip to any page and you can really find some prayers, find words to offer up to God. So we're looking forward to all these aspects coming together to form a wonderful experience.
Oh, it sounds like it truly is going to be a wonderful experience. So, Gambo, I know that in addition to keeping the youth who will be a part of the rally as members of the church engaged, you will want to attract some new youth as well. So talk to us about the general aim of what you're trying to achieve in having this rally at this time.
Yeah, general aim of the rally is to engage the community, especially the Angel community. That's why the program is will be held there, and we have sent out information all over in different platforms to invite everybody. It doesn't have to be Methodist. It's open to everybody to come and engage, to worship and fellowship with us. We'll be there to share our faith, our talent, our graces, and our struggles as well. So it's open to everybody. We hope that after the program, we'll be able to get more people to continue to engage with them. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the church setting. We're open to all creative ways of engaging people right now, because the world is changing. We can't continue doing the same thing over and over and over again. So we're open to different methods of engaging our young people. So it's open to everybody.
All right, sounds really exciting, and I think that we're ready if you are. So I'm going to give you one last chance, Mr. General Director John Delaney, a chance to tell all the youth listening and all their parents and grandparents who are part of it why they should make sure that they come out and check out this youth rally that is coming up on Sunday, May 7th.
Definitely. 4 p.m. May 7th, Angle Memorial in the car park. You have to be there. It's going to be a wonderful evening of praise, gospel songs, and hymns. It will be a wonderful mix. We're going to spice things up. There'll be pan, there'll be dance, there'll be drumming, keyboard, everything that you can look forward to. It's going to be really amazing. You shouldn't miss it.
All right. Final word for you.
Yeah, that evening will be the best place for everybody to be, as long as you have received the word. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be spirit-filled. There will be a lot of fun. Music lovers, they're invited. If you like to watch, our groups are preparing very hard, so you're all invited.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Gambo Balsam, James Street, Speightstown Circuit Youth Rally is coming up. Thank you, Mr. General Director, South Caribbean Youth, John Delaney, both coming in to talk about Triumphant with Jesus, the Circuit Youth Rally. Again, Sunday, May 7th at 4 o'clock, location Angle Memorial Methodist Church Car Park. So come on out and be a part of it. Something wonderful for young people to do. I mean, across generations, because it's a youth rally doesn't mean that older people can't come out and be a part of it as well. But they definitely want some younger people to come out and experience what they are putting on. So thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best on your rally. Be sure to come on back or share some photos on the Morning Barbados page and let us know how it went.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. As it heads up to the 7 o'clock hour, just want to remind you that we are featuring our exceptional youth today. So you get to meet the CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, brand new, shiny, sparkly, out of the box. They're going to be here to share with us exactly what the experience is expected to be like, what they've done so far, and how they got where they are. Plus, we're going to tell you about RBC loans. That's all coming up on Morning Barbados. But next, we'll give you an update of the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
7:02, time for an update of news. Well, the final report on the alleged cell phone, which was found in an interview room at a police station, will soon be on the desk of the Commissioner of Police. The incident was reported where an attorney was with a suspect, and during the interview, a phone taped under a table fell to the floor. CBC News was informed by Police Commissioner Richard Boyce that the file will soon be on his desk because the investigator has submitted it to his superior officer, and thereafter it will come to him. Commissioner Boyce, however, indicated that before any findings can be revealed to the media, he has to peruse the file and inform other relevant parties. The Bar Association on April 5th had complained about the time being taken to check the matter and also about the police service investigating itself. A check with the association said they have not received any formal or verbal information to date about the matter. And there has been no official response as yet from local law enforcement officials after a High Court judge in Trinidad and Tobago described the detention and subsequent repatriation of a Trinidadian by police in Barbados as an abduction. While delivering his scathing judgment, Justice Devendra Rampersad also dismissed the criminal proceedings brought against Brent Thomas, a firearms dealer. The judge's assessment of what happened in Barbados to Thomas has prompted Attorney General Dale Marshall to call on Police Commissioner Richard Boyce to investigate the matter. Reports suggest Thomas was first arrested on September 29th of 2022 and was later released. He was rearrested while in Barbados on his way to Miami for medical treatment. Thomas was returned to Trinidad and Tobago, where he was later charged with possession of a series of weapons, including grenades and rifles. Now, over the weekend, Trinidad and Tobago's opposition legislator, Dr. Rudal Monilal, said the Barbados government had questions to answer regarding the findings of the High Court judge about the manner in which Thomas was detained and returned to the Twin Island Republic. While Barbadians seem to be happy that number portability is now possible, and they have been changing their provider options to suit their comfort. Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology Davidson Ishmael told the Morning Report that the response has been positive.
We've had scores of persons who have made those decisions to change from one service provider to the other. We know that there has been a demand for many years for individuals to have a level of flexibility in being able to choose their service provider as they deemed necessary, being able to move from one without the hassle of having to change your telephone number is something that persons will have been indicating in Barbados that they wanted to have that option and that flexibility and that comfort for quite some time. And we're glad that in the beginning of this year we were able to with tremendous assistance from the two major telecom companies, we were able to launch number portability, local number portability, which allows a person to now make those decisions as they deem necessary. And if you want to change your service provider, you can do so without having the hassle of having to alert all of your customers if you're a business person, or all of your family members if you're a private individual, without having to alert them to the fact that you would have changed your telephone number and therefore change your service provider.
Well, one of CBC's most popular radio stations celebrated a major milestone yesterday. Q100.7 FM has now been in existence for just shy of 2 decades. CBC's Ryan Broom has that story.
Q100.7 FM continues to grow by leaps and bounds. And the CBC's marketing specialist, Nicole Collins, says there is much to celebrate for the station that gave birth to the popular Q in the community.
In the 60th year for the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, we thought it pertinent to celebrate each anniversary for each of our brands. Hence, we're celebrating QFM's 19th anniversary. QFM connecting with the mature audience, those shut-ins, those persons. We have a large overseas audience. And if you follow us on social media, you will see we have persons from all over the world who are connecting with QFM and by extension Q in the community, which came out of QFM, that community-based event. Weekly, we want to invite everyone to come out and celebrate Q's 19th anniversary tomorrow. QFM celebrating with Q in the community with CBC.
Meanwhile, popular Q100.7 FM personality Jaquila Lady J. Lewis took a stroll down memory lane today as she called 3 of the original Q100.7 FM crew in veterans Tony Thompson, Sam Wilkinson and Wendell Ford. She says the station continues to stay true to its roots by keeping in touch with the community.
It has been phenomenal serving the Q audience over the past 19 years. Q100.7 FM, you know, we are the heart of the community and we bring to you family radio. Of course, we have that more mature audience. We have the shut-ins. We have those individuals who are just at home and the only company they have is the radio. And it has been an absolute pleasure serving you over the years. We say a special thanks to our audience for being here with us over the years, seeing the many changes and being loyal to us, and also a special thanks to our sponsors as well. We look forward to serving you for many more years to come right here on Q100.7 FM.
So a very happy birthday, Q100.7 FM. Now the next Q in the community takes place Thursday, May 4th at the Boobalicious Premium Lounge Sports Bar and Grill in Sanford, St. Philip. Do be sure to come out and be a part of it. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
Oh, thank you so much, Ryan. Again, happy birthday to the QFM team. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and
Hey, 10 minutes after 7 o'clock on this gorgeous Thursday morning. So we have some early morning drizzles, but that's okay. The weatherman or lady, they're saying that a little later it's going to be clear, but we definitely need that water. So, you know, we still can't use water as we like. So to be able to have the rain coming, then we fill up our reservoirs and it's a little better for us. So she is a youth advocate who has a wide focus on social development issues, and he is a young professional who is passionate about youth and social advocacy. Together, they are the Barbados CARICOM Youth Ambassadors. They were named so just a few weeks ago, from April 2023, and they will serve until July 2024. Help me welcome Ashley Lashley and Shakeem Howell to Morning Barbados. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much
right.
for having us this morning.
Congratulations are in order. This is a mighty big deal. I absolutely want to start with ladies first. That's you, Ashley. So talk to me a little bit about what it meant to be named as the CARICOM Youth Ambassador.
Well, truthfully, Trish, I'm extremely honored, humbled, and super excited that I was appointed as the new CARICOM Female Youth Ambassador. And for me, what it means is one, accountability. I'm now in a position where both Shakem and myself will work to ensure that policymakers, various stakeholders seriously address the issues that are facing us as young persons, not only in Barbados, but across the region. And being appointed as CARICOM Youth Ambassador, especially when CARICOM is celebrating its 50th anniversary, I think it places us in a remarkable opportunity to really ensure that the necessary sensitization and awareness is brought to our young people of what is CARICOM and the true meaning behind CARICOM, but also to actually implement programs from a community perspective to ensure that young persons' issues are being seriously addressed, and that would be the overall focus of our tender during this CARICOM Youth Ambassadorial program.
I'm going to come to you now, Shakeem. And what's particularly interesting for me about you is that you're a leader of opposition business of the Barbados National Youth Parliament. With 11 years of public communications, I myself, in my very early days, was a member of the Barbados National Youth Parliament. And through the years, I've had an opportunity through the Ministry of Youth to go in and train a lot of the young people who've been a part of the National Youth Parliament as well. So before we delve into your stint now as CARICOM Youth Ambassador, I want to talk to you a little bit about your interest in Youth Parliament, first of all.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Haynes, for having me here this morning. My interest in Youth Parliament was mainly stemmed from my high school environment, where I was a member of my student council, both at the Corridor Parry and the Ellerslie schools. And being able to have that experience going on to United Nations, activate talks and communicate with a wider range of young people across the region ultimately led me to where I am today, where I have a deep and loving passion for community work and social development. And today the Youth Parliament is about 66 members strong, and it's always a pleasure to engage with an alumnus like yourself, because we're just looking for those older youth parliamentarians, persons like the leader of the Democratic Labour Party, persons like our Prime Minister, who are all members, people like Corey Lane, who are all members of the Youth Parliament, who always come, give back, give a good word, encouraging word, and being able to uplift the next generation of youth advocates and ultimately the next generation of leaders.
Absolutely. That includes the Chief Education Officer, the current Chief Education Officer. She was in Youth Parliament with us as well as Senator Dr. Chantal Monroe-Knight. So there are a host of us who were at Youth Parliament at the same time together. That's wonderful. Now, staying with you for a bit, Shaquem, tell me about what it means with all of this advocacy and all that you're doing, how you found your voice with Youth Parliament and the work that you're doing, what this new ambassadorial post means for you.
Well, I first became interested in becoming the CARICOM Youth Ambassador about 4 years ago, but I only applied last year for the first time, finally taking the plunge to say this might be my time to actually put myself up for service. And it is a very historical moment, as Ashley would have highlighted, having 50 years of CARICOM, but more in particular to pertaining to the program, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary of having a CYA program which was launched in St. Lucia some 30 years ago, where the heads of government at this time saw it important to be able to point to the next generation of Caribbean leaders and ensuring that that harmony was fostered from a very young age. So that when you have persons like myself who are interested in Youth Parliament, persons like myself who are part of the National Youth Council, persons like myself who are part of the University of the West Indies Students Today Alumni Tomorrow program, which are all stems off of CARICOM, from CARIFTA to CARIFESTA, and bringing them together in this united space, being able to come up with policy ideas, not just to be able to champion for climate change and several other indigenous groups within our communities, because we have the Taino people and the Carib village within Dominica. All of these other areas are supposed to be protected as we're trying to build up a collective region. But we also are now being able to see a synergy being miraged from a very young age. And I believe that this program on its 30th anniversary, we were able to then look back and see who were the CYAs before. And we're able to see where persons like Shade Jam are today, and see persons like where Java is today, and be able to look back and see what the CYAs have been doing and contributing to this social development in their Caribbean countries. It allows us to be able to now build a framework for developing a wider Caribbean community, built a platform of ultimate unity, because only together can we accomplish everything that we need to make that major splash in the international economy.
All right, Shaquem, I'm going to have to urge you to slow it down, because you're going to lose us somewhere with those words, man. You go really quickly. You go really quickly.
Yes, please. And I get nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but for you, Ashley, I know that as a youth advocate, you have a wide focus on social development issues, particularly as it relates to health, the environment, children and women's rights as well. And some years ago, you started your journey with the establishment of the Schools Against Non-Communicable Diseases when you were just 16 years old. I remember hearing you on, maybe it was Slam FM, a few years ago doing an interview. Maybe it was this year. I'm not sure. But I remember hearing you talking about the programs that you've been doing and so on. Quite recently, just last week, as a matter of fact, we saw this new policy implemented as relates to the way that our children eat in schools. How does it make you feel that you've been advocating for children's health for so long, and you formed this association which really focused in on schools against non-communicable diseases, which really ties into the whole concept of how children eat and so on. So it says that you too are making strides in your advocacy and what you're doing. How does that make you feel?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Hayes. Funny enough, you asked me that question because even a few days ago, when we visited the Anthill School, with the Ashley Foundation, we brought an eco-active youth project there where we looked at ensuring our children adopt lifestyles that are healthy, but also the protection of our environment. And I must say, I feel proud to be an advocate and seeing that the necessary changes are being taken from a governmental level and the changes within our overall policy. When I first started my advocacy, 1 in 3 children in Barbados were either living with childhood obesity or overweight. So that is what really propelled my advocacy within the establishment of the Schools Against Non-Communicable Diseases, to ensure that our young persons take the necessary action that is related to living a healthy lifestyle. And what does that mean? So the establishment of the school nutrition policy, the government of Barbados must be highly commended for taking that policy step and policy change to ensure that our children's life are not only that our children's life are being worked on from a healthy perspective, but the inclusion of healthy environments. And when I saw that key term, healthy environments, it really struck home for me, because I often say that the health of our people is interconnected to the health of our environment. And when we're looking at health, we must look at every single facet of our society to ensure that our people live healthy lifestyles. And I even remember through the same Schools Against Non-Communicable Diseases, I had a motto that goes, the health of our nation is linked to the health of our people. So I just want to continue to see the necessary sensitization and awareness being brought by the schools, also through the Healthy Caribbean Coalition and the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados. They have been doing great work when it comes to non-communicable diseases and sensitizing our children about the importance of taking the necessary action as it relates to living a healthy lifestyle.
Up for a life in the public's eye with that name. Who can forget Ashley Lashley, right? I absolutely love it. Goes along with all of that. All right, so when you get on the national stage, I know that for you, Shakim, you've had an opportunity to address the forum at UN House, or the series of activate talks and things of that nature. But when you get on the regional stage, where you are among so many other ambassadors representing so many different places, how are you going to make sure, starting with you, Shakim, how are you going to make sure that your voice is heard, that you are truly representing for the youth of Barbados, and you are truly pushing the issues that the youth in Barbados want you to share as a spokesperson now for them?
Thank you very much for that question. Personally, we are currently in election mode within the Ambassador Corps of the 40 ambassadors selected from the CARICOM delegated countries. And I have just put myself up for service to become the Vice Dean of Information and Communication. So in particular, that is one avenue once I'm able to serve on that executive and further my advocacy and representation of Barbados, to be able to be responsible for the advocacy channels and the information and communication channels of the entire Ambassador Corps of the region gives me that particular edge to be able to champion and push personal and social agendas, not just within the Barbados communities that are needed to travel, but also the wider Caribbean. When it comes to communicating with persons like UN House in Geneva, being able to communicate with our stakeholders here at UN House in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, and several other members of the diplomatic corps, having that particular channel to be able to touch home those points that, for example, our Roofs to Reach project here in Barbados, that we might need a further help to lift a helping hand to get those kind of climate change and climate sustainability projects given a further push, ultimately will help us to be able to have that advocacy then. But moreover, through the work with the ministry, having our national youth survey that's just currently taking place, and we as ambassadors going out there to help our youth commissioners and their communities in administering the survey and being able to hear on the ground the information from young people themselves of what they would like us to discuss and what they would like to share, helps us along this journey. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. And I realize you tempered that a little bit from setting the hot pace. That's something that will come with time. I think as Barbadians, we don't realize some of the times how quickly we speak, unless you're from St. Lucie. They speak very slowly. All right, for you, Ashley, what will be top of the table for you once you get in that regional forum?
I think for me, even when we met with our Minister of Youth just a few weeks ago, he highlighted that he wants us through this ambassadorial program to get outside of our comfort zone. And for me, tackling the CARICOM Youth Ambassadorial Program must be done from a community-driven perspective. We as CARICOM Youth Ambassadors really need to hit the ground to really address the issues that our young persons are facing, and then bring it back to the Ministry of Youth, or rather creating a multi-sectorial approach to addressing social issues when it comes to the challenges that we as young persons are facing. So for me, my plan throughout the tenure as CARICOM Youth Ambassador will be focused on three main pillars. From a community-driven perspective, we want to look at food security, youth unemployment, and youth living with disabilities. I also believe that when it comes to addressing the issues that CARICOM is facing, we must ensure that the overall process is as inclusive and as diverse as possible. And really, in our role as CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, we are essentially the voice of those young persons who may be voiceless. So we have to do all that we can to ensure that the rights of our children and young persons across the CARICOM region is being upheld by policymakers. But even when it comes home to Barbados, you know, there needs to be more proactive mechanisms when it comes to addressing these issues that CARICOM, that young persons are facing throughout the region. We are actually the voice of young persons. So even in Barbados, where our island is facing significant environmental and social challenges, and just in 2021 alone, Ms. Hines, the youth unemployment rate in Barbados was 23.7%, which is almost 3 times the size of the national employment rate of approximately 8.5%. So these issues that I mentioned are not only affecting the economic prospects of our young people in Barbados, but regionally as well. But it's also contributing to social exclusion, poverty, and poor mental health outcomes. So throughout the tenure of the overall CARICOM Youth Ambassador program, I really believe that we must get on the ground to really address the issues that we as young persons are facing, but find those proactive mechanisms in Barbados and regionally to make sure that our young people are meaningfully included when it comes to these social issues that are affecting us.
To both of you, again, congratulations. I'm thoroughly impressed with both of you. I am happy that you're so passionate about your various areas. There is some overlap, and of course it has to be in line with, you know, what the policies are, what the goals are on a national level too. Only thing I would say to you is make sure that whatever you do is inclusive, because there are a lot of young people out here who are on the margins, who are on the fringe, who feel like ambassadorial programs like this are not representative of them. So, you know, make that your journey so that next time you come back, you can tell me that you have engaged with some of these youth who are on the fringe and who feel like they're outsiders, because we know that some of the times these are the youth who are most marginalized and who are most at risk, to use, you know, cliche terms, which absolutely can be true as well. So thank you so much, Shakim and Ashley, for sharing with us. And again, congrats, and make sure you check in regularly so we can find out how things are going with you. And I endorse you in your bid for that new post that you are up for, Shakim, and I hope that you will come back to tell me, I'm it.
Thank you very much for having me. And just before we go, I just want to share that we also have our alternates. And this is the first time the CARICOM Youth Ambassador Program will be establishing a committee with all those individuals who have applied for the role. And my alternate this year is Moali Knight. And I wish to congratulate him now on being appointed as CARICOM Youth Ambassador male alternate. And Ashley, you can introduce yours.
Yes, and my alternate is Miss Dana Broom. So I also want to congratulate her for being the alternate as well. And thank you for having us this morning on Mornin Barbados. And I forgot to say good morning, everyone who's tuned in.
I think they know that you're saying good morning. You certainly told us a lot. I love young people who talk a lot, because I was a young person who talked a lot. I'm an old person who talks a lot. So have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye. All right. So coming up next on Mornin Barbados, we're going to highlight another exceptional youth, but this time one who desperately needs our help. That's next.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted? Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to.
Now, last month on Morning Barbados, we met Deshaun Howell's mother, who told us about his medical condition and the fundraising efforts to assist him with it. Deshaun is an exceptional young man who is also an amazing football player. The road has not been an easy one for him and his family, though. And we had an opportunity to do an interview with his mom, and this is when Pearson was still hosting. So let's take a listen to that.
Deshaun Howell is a national youth footballer who needs your help. His mother has been sharing the story a little bit with us, and as far as we got here, Natasha Howell is with us. He's now in Georgia. He's been taken to hospital, and you were where? In Barbados?
I was in Barbados.
And I can't imagine what was going through you when you got the news.
It was rough. It was hard. It was shattering. But through it all, I had a cry behind the scenes, basically.
Yes.
Because whenever I would talk to him, he would say, "Mommy, you're crying." I'm like, "No, I'm mixing fish get butter and the peppers in my eyes."
Yes.
Anything, you know, because at one point in time, we was on the phone with the doctors and they were giving us the updates and everything. Because whenever they would call, whenever doctors came and gave us news, Granny would get on the phone, I would get on the phone. Even Auntie that is in Canada sometimes would be on the phone just so that everyone could know what's going on and we would be able to answer enough questions. So we were abreast of what was going on most of the time, you know, while he was there.
So the day they told you the news of what they found, how did Deshaun take it and how did you take it?
Well, it was heartbreaking. Because to know that I have a 21-year-old who was just last year before, and the year before that, up kicking a ball, dealing with his 2-year-old daughter, you know, and being active and alive, and just now seeing him or hearing him, because at one point in time, at this point in time, he's not able to walk.
Oh.
Yeah, Deshaun can't walk. Deshaun is bedridden at this point in time. So it's shattering, though. Doesn't matter how you look at it, you know. Some of his friends, you know, like, who wants to come and look for him, can't bring themselves.
They can't deal with it. They just can't deal with it. This young, active 21-year-old now just bedridden there. And so he needs our assistance.
Yes.
Because there's a particular drug that can help him.
Yes, please.
Tell me a little bit about that and what it costs to be able to do so.
Well, the truth is, there's so much fancy names for all these medicals.
Yes.
I'm unable to call the name of the medication, which is unfortunate. But it's only available really mostly in the US. You know, you can actually source it probably in China or in the UK. It could cost as much as $200,000. So, I mean, it's unfortunate for me to say this, but maybe that's the reason why they had to send Deshaun home. Not only that, he was on their welfare in the US. I mean, he's not American.
Yes, yes.
You know,
they can't maintain it. And so here it is now. You have this huge medical bill for this particular life-saving medication. And how is it going trying to raise that fund?
Well, we are doing, I was unable to set a GoFundMe page. That would really, really help, because everyone was like, "Oh, try to do the Go," but I don't know, and I don't know of anybody who knows. So we're doing flyers, and I actually went to RSP, and they actually give me some buckets. Well, very nice to give me some buckets. So I actually we're giving around to family and friends and business places, anyone that would assist in helping us to raise this money to get Deshaun back to Deshaun the way we know him, back on that field, because that's his whole goal. Not only in taking care of his daughter, you know, and being a provider for his family, but to live the life Deshaun knows how God intended him for him to be, because I'm his number one fan. And all I know is Deshaun and a ball from us near high. So for me to see Deshaun as he is right now, you know, I'm his mother, and it's hard.
Because you feel as if you can't do anything to help your little baby.
If I could take that pain away, if I could lay in that bed for him, I would.
That's a mother's pain, I feel it. And so for anyone who wants to make a donation, we look for you, we look for people.
You
How do we
can contact the Cancer Society. You can, actually, he has an account at RBC. So it's actually on our flyer, on all of our flyers also. So as I said, if anyone knows how to set up that GoFundMe page, that it can spread all around the world, that we can actually maximize that and raise the funds even quicker, because this is a fight and we have to win.
Yes, we have to win. So look, if we just share that poster on your screen, if you see that poster anywhere, it has all the information you need to know. How to lend your assistance to raise this young man up yet again. Playing football, the sport he loves, and so he needs your assistance right now. There is a life-saving drug that can prolong his life, that can make him a whole lot better. He's gone through all sorts of chemotherapy. He's already been through a lot, and now he needs a lot from you and a lot of you as well. So you give and you give and you give. There's an account at the Royal Bank of Canada in his name.
Yes, please.
The account is in the name of Dishon Howell, D-I-S-H-O-N Howell. So you go into any branch of the Royal Bank and you say to them, I am here to make a deposit into this account for Dishon Howell. They will do so.
The Cancer Society also.
Or you can go to the Barbados Cancer Society and make your donation there. Or if you see any of the relatives of Deshaun along with the tin, you can drop in whatever you have. Every little bit counts. You know, we think of the widow's mite and how far that went. And so we can see how far our contributions can go to help this young man. So raise him up again, really and truly, to make him well and whole again. His mother feels the pain, we do too. And so we want to encourage as many of you as possible to pull from your pocket, to pull from your heart, to raise Deshaun up. He went to school at the St. Leonard's Boys, right?
Yes, he did.
Has the school come in to help at all?
Well, his coach that has been in there from day one, Fabian Messiah, he had told us that he would try to get a bucket and collect even $1 or $2 from all, you know, the school. So we appreciate that also.
This is not a joke, folks. This is quite serious, and so we want you to take it as seriously as well. So help Deshaun Howell. Deshaun Howell. Deshaun Howell is his name. You can go to any branch of Royal Bank of Canada and you make your donation into his account, Deshaun Howell. You can call the Barbados Cancer Society and they will guide you through the process of making your donation. If you know how to set up a GoFundMe account, his mother Natasha needs your help. How can they contact you, Natasha?
Well, my telephone number is 840-5022.
That had to fall. That had to fall, but it didn't want to fall. Say it again.
840-5022.
840-5022. 840-5022. Call Natasha. Help her set it up as well, the GoFundMe account, so that she can reach out to far more people who would want to help Deshaun rise and play the sport that he actually loves and take care of his family. He's 21 years old. He has a daughter?
Yes, please.
A little girl, and so this little girl needs to grow up in the care and love and company of her father. And we can all do this as caring Barbadians. So don't forget, you can go to the Royal Bank of Canada, Deshaun Howell is the account name, to the Barbados Cancer Society, Deshaun Howell is his name, and you can make your donation into the tins as they move around the island. Wherever you are, do not just walk on by. This is not one of those cases where you dismiss and assume that it's a prank. It is not a prank. This is a need of a life-saving drug to help Deshaun Howell. You know him if you're a past student of the St. Leonard's Boys School. If you live in his area, you know him. And so let's all rally together as a community to help Deshaun Howell. The number for Natasha is 840-5022. 840-5022. You can call her to make arrangements for your donation. You can call her also to assist her with setting up the GoFundMe account for Deshaun. Natasha, I know it's tough for your family at this time. I can see you're a strong woman, and I encourage you to keep the faith, keep the faith, keep the faith. Don't ever lose sight of that. Deshaun needs you to be strong, and I know you know how to do so for your little baby. So keep it up. Keep it up. We wish you well.
All right, so thank you so much, Pearson. We definitely want you to make sure that you help Deshaun, who desperately needs our help in his fight against cancer. Now, the GoFundMe page is now set up, so you definitely should go there. That's the page, and help Deshaun Howell fight cancer. He has a very, very aggressive form of lymphoma, diagnosed just in January, but he continues his fight, and we would hope that you would contribute whatever you can. We also have a tin here at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. So if you're coming here to pay your MCTV bill or transact any business, make sure you drop in and pick up some information about that. It's just at our front desk. We've also posted the information on our social media pages as well. So let us help Deshaun Howell as best we can. Who knows? People always say the life you save might be your own. You never know when you might have to ask for help. So let's band together and help as best we can. All right, we're going to take a break here. And when we come back, are you in the market for a mortgage? I have all the answers. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Big Bajan Bake Off is back, and the top 5 have been selected. Tune in Fridays at 8:03 p.m. to find out who will be crowned the best Bajan baker.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan.
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Everybody's idea of home is different. So every mortgage should be unique, shaped around you, flexible to move and change as you do. RBC will come to you to get you started and stay by your side to help guide you every step of the way. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story and start your story today. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at RBC Caribbean.
All right, so we're taking you into the bank, or maybe the bank is coming here. However we work it out, we have with us this morning Letitia Redmond and Siobhan Carter. They're both reps from RBC who came through to spend a little time with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so good to have you with us. Now, RBC, we're talking about mortgages, and you guys have a good policy that you have in place, a good program rather, where you are having mortgage clinics every week. So I'm going to start with you, Letitia. Tell me a little bit about these mortgage clinics and what we can expect once we come in.
Okay, so at our mortgage clinics, we are going to help each client achieve that mortgage that they're looking to have. So we are going to be dressed like doctors, so that you feel comfortable and in that friendly ambiance where we are going to help you understand what you can qualify for. That way you are having the ease in shopping, and we will also be helping you understand the ways in which you can pay the mortgage. There are so many ways that you can do so and even finish the mortgage on time. Well before even retirement age.
Yeah, well, we know this could be the biggest investment that you make in your lifetime for a lot of people who want to be homeowners, and I know that's a Barbadian dream. So to be able to have this at this time might mean a lot. What are some of the things that we need to do if we're coming in to find out more on this fact-finding mission for the mortgage clinics? I am definitely going to be there. Just even hearing that you're going to be dressed as doctors, you know, that's intriguing for me. So what can we expect when we come on in? And I know you might need to travel with a few particular documents in order to make the best of your visit to RBC.
Well, first I would like to say that you can visit any branch. You don't need to have an appointment. One of our relationship managers or our sales officers will be there to assist you. The documents that you would need to walk with, but you don't necessarily have to have them at the time, would be your job letter, your pay slip, statements of any loans that you have. Because when we're doing our calculation to pre-approve you, it needs to kind of be realistic. We want to actually give you the figures and say this is definitely what you would qualify for based on the liabilities and stuff that you are servicing currently. In addition to what Letitia was saying, based on our campaign, it ends the 26th of this month, but however, you can still visit our branch and still have the discussions. Our rate right now, we're offering a rate as low as 3.7%.
Oh wow, that's a good rate.
It is definitely a good rate, and now is the time, it's a buyer's market, so you want to capitalize on these low rates that the banks are currently offering. In addition, we're also offering to cover the valuation, $1,000 towards the valuation. So we're actually helping you to put some additional money in your pocket. You're looking to purchase the property, but you don't necessarily have to come out of pocket. Another great feature of our campaign is that we're also covering up to 2%, offering a 2% cash back. Which we have a cap of $20,000, and that could go towards covering your legal fees. So again, Tisha, if you're looking to purchase the property or to buy land or even to switch your mortgage over to RBC, you will not necessarily have any fees that you necessarily have to pay, because we're looking to help you cover those fees.
So those are two really great benefits. I know the cashback really works. As you mentioned, you can use it to go toward your legal fees, or maybe if you purchase a property and it is not move-in ready, you might have a little extra cash that you can do something with to make sure that you can move in right away or get it prepared for the market right away if that's something that you want to do. So that's always, you know, a good benefit. Letitia, you wanted to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add what we would have spoken about would have seemed to only cater to the new client, but we also have good things out there for our existing clients so that they don't feel left out in the market. So you can use the equity in the property in order to do the renovations, as you would have mentioned. A lot of persons are going with the photovoltaic cells and that kind of stuff. An excellent way in which that you can reduce the electricity bill at home and that kind of stuff. Anything that you can possibly think about doing. Some people even use their equity to purchase another property. So, you know, it is so easy to do business with RBC at this point.
True. That's wonderful. That's absolutely true. You might be in your home for a few years, maybe you're 5-10 years down the line. It most certainly isn't valued at what it was valued before. So this gives you an opportunity to access a little extra money so that you can move forward and do something else. Maybe you want to improve on the home, like you said, or invest in something else. I really love the idea of doing that as you go forward. What about people who might have mortgages, but they're not necessarily comfortable with where they are, and they might want to move mortgages? Is something there for them too, or not quite yet?
Yes, we also offer the switch campaign, which makes up part of the package. And as Siobhan would have alluded to, we will assist with that switching cost. We can reduce or eliminate the costs associated with switching, because I know most people are hesitant in what would come in terms of the legal fees. So we're here to help. Come give us a call. We're here. We can have the discussion on the telephone, or come to our clinics on Fridays, and we're here to serve.
I really love, Siobhan, that you can walk in. I think that really makes a difference, and it will take a load off of anyone who's even thinking about going in, because sometimes even to go for a loan, sometimes it feels like it's so heavy and there's so much to do, and then you have to make an appointment and you have to sit and wait. And for you guys to kind of throw the doors open and say, okay, come to us on Fridays, come in with your questions, you know, so you can feel more comfortable in the area of loans. I think this is a wonderful initiative and a great way to open people's minds a little bit more to the possibility of getting mortgages.
Yes, because we find that a lot of people are afraid to approach the banks, and I always tell people you need to visit the bank before you visit the realtor. So come in, let us have that conversation, let us pre-qualify you so you can go into the market and shop with confidence. It's like when you go to the doctor, you need to tell the doctor what are my symptoms so the doctor can do a diagnosis. The same thing when you come to the bank. Once you come to RBC, we take a very holistic approach. We look at what are your short-term goals versus what are your long-term goals. And then we see how we can assist. So for some people, their goal may be to finish their mortgage before the age 67. we can do that. We would arrange a package specifically to tailor to that. And addition, what we also have to add is that we also offer up to 95% financing. For those who may not necessarily have a deposit, we can accommodate that too as well. So there are lots of options available when it comes to mortgages. I know people are afraid to have the conversation, but now is the time. And I always say it's better to get the mortgage while you're young as opposed to waiting till when you're older, because the monthly payment is much less and you have a bit more flexibility to do other things with your disposable income. So don't be afraid. Just visit any of our branches. Our staff are very welcoming. I believe that we offer excellent service, and we will definitely be able to help you and to put a document in your hand on mortgage certificate so that you can definitely shop in the market and search for your dream home.
And I can, I can attest to that. I can totally agree with you as somebody who took the plunge at age 23 and nearing the end of that first mortgage. I mean, it feels good. And to kind of reinforce something you said a little bit earlier about coming in to find out what you pre-qualify for makes absolute sense.
Yes.
Because if you're going out there and you're seeing realtors, you're looking at properties, you're setting yourself up because, you know, you might see something, us, champagne taste, Morby party, might be a possibility. And then you see something that you like and you're wasting your time and the realtor's time because then you see something that you really like, but then you go into your lending institution and you can't afford it. So this definitely should be your first step in, moving toward acquiring your first home, investing in a new property, whatever it is you need to do when it comes to mortgages and RBC. So final words from you, Letitia, about the entire campaign. I heard you mention a few elements. So the switch campaign for those people who might have a mortgage and you're not happy with your lending institution.
Correct.
There are some benefits for you. If it's a new mortgage you're in the market for, there's something for that. And if you're already with the bank, you also offer something for people who are there too.
Yes, please. So I would like to say that we are an inclusive bank, which means that we look to help everyone out there. No matter what challenges that you may be having, we provide professional and financial advice to help everyone that we can. And even though that sometimes we might not be able to give you what it is that you may want in terms of the money, at the end of the day, we guide you so that you can work towards what it is that you're trying to achieve. Working with RBC is always the best thing for all clients. We are a family and we go through everything with each and every one of our clients. So we don't just look at you as a client, but we also look at you as a family member.
Oh, that's wonderful. Siobhan, we're going to have to start a program where we talk about these things, because I find that in Barbados we don't delve into financial literacy and matters to do with things like mortgages and so on enough. Funnily enough, I learned my first information about a mortgage as I was pursuing getting a mortgage. And it was something that came about through involvement with the program similar to this. So you never really know who you could be sharing with and giving them some insight into where they can go and what the possibilities are. I just want you to reinforce the whole idea of accessing the equity in your home, because there are a lot of people out there who might be thinking, how do I do this next? You mentioned the photovoltaic panels and so on, which are a good investment. We've moved to the stage now where even if the electricity goes off and you have the PV panels, you still need some storage, so you need your battery storage. So there's always something to do to improve your homes. We now have a water shortage, so you might want to get a tank in. And you're thinking about these things, but once you're in the first few years of your mortgage, that usually has you locked in pretty tight. So if you can access that extra equity, it's a good idea to have a conversation with the doctors at RBC.
I like the fact that you mentioned financial literacy. So at RBC, we definitely have virtual advice events. We go to organizations and we actually have sessions online. So we could definitely invite you and your team and other parties who are interested. We just take their names and we send the link and we invite them to have these sessions on mortgages, any different financial products that we offer. So we have those sessions to keep the public very informed. In terms of the equity, yes, we're still taking care of our clients. We're not forgetting them. So all that would be required basically would be the valuation. As I mentioned, we are covering up to $1,000 towards that valuation. So it's quite easy for our existing clients to refinance their mortgage and take the equity out, whether it be for renewable energy, for medical expenses, for educational expenses. We can do that. So it's quite an easy process, and in some cases it does not require the client having to go back to the attorney for legal fees. But if they have to do that again, our cashback is something that they could utilize to cover those legal fees as well.
All right, I'm thinking Charleston Park. Where else are we heading for RBC?
We have Broad Street.
Of course, how could I forget Broad Street? All right, Broad Street, don't feel bad. Okay, Charleston Park, Broad Street.
We have Lanterns, and then we have Sunset Crest, where both me and Letitia are from.
Okay.
As well.
Sunset Crest would definitely be the place that I stop off. I try to avoid the places where you have a lot of traffic. That would be Richtown.
Just so we don't forget, Tisha, for our clients who may be interested in construction mortgages, we're also offering construction mortgages as well. And we definitely have a really good rate for the construction mortgages as well. So we don't want to forget those. And those parties who are also looking for a non-resident mortgages, we also offer that as well as the investment mortgage that we were trying to get you to take out on as well.
Yeah, you know, you're pretty convincing. Who knows? I just might drop in and explore the possibilities. I mean, what can it hurt? That's the important thing. If you look at it that way, then you don't know what the possibilities are unless you do. Thank you so much, Letitia Redmond and Siobhan Carter, representatives from RBC, coming in to talk to us today all about the mortgages that are available at RBC. Go on in. They have mortgage clinics. You don't have to make an appointment. All you have to do is go on into any branch, maybe particularly on Fridays, and they're going to take good care of you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing RBC. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll play a little game as we prepare to wrap up today's edition. Stay with me.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the
morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so we had a good morning, and we're almost at the end of another show. I promised you we were going to play a game of Unscrambled today to lively things up and lighten the mood a little bit. All right, so here's your first word. You're calling me at 228-5562 or 228-5563. I'm not giving you any clues because this is very, very simple. Guess this word, can you? I-T-A-M-A-D-N-R. Let me get the glasses on. Let me see if these specs could help me unscramble anything. I don't know, but you should. So call me up and let me know. 228-5562, 228-5563. Put those thinking caps on. Give me a call and tell me what the word is as we get into it. I know some of you are heading out to school, but you haven't left as yet. And this is a Bajan favorite. I grew up in Black Rock, and we had a lot of these trees around, and we loved them. And we make some nice Bajan delicacies with the fruit from the tree. They're very different. Some of them can be very tart. I'm not going to give you any more. Let's see who's on the phone line. Good morning. Hello, welcome to Morning Barbados. I'm not hearing anyone. Oh boy. All right, so the fruit from this tree, you guys tell me, you know, they lost that caller. Okay, so just call me back. We were having a few issues with the phone line a little earlier today, so hopefully that's resolved. All right, good morning. Welcome. Oh no, we're definitely having some challenges. We have Michael Sobers back there working hard on it. Roll Ford is working hard on it. Alicia Alves Grant, she's working hard on it. So hopefully we're going to get that in because the time is quickly going by. I was hoping that we could get some on Scramble in this morning. Was looking forward to playing that game with you as we celebrate Barbados and continue to talk about some great Barbadian fruits and delicacies. So, you know, that was definitely something for you to think about. Now you have a few hours to think about it because we're going to have to wrap up for today. Unfortunately, not enough time to go with that. We're going to get that issue resolved with the telephone line as well and get back to you tomorrow. It will be a fantastic Friday presentation for Morning Barbados, so we really want you to tune in from early for the morning report and then stay on for Morning Barbados. Now, today, next stop is Q in the community. It's at the Boobylicious Premium Lounge at Sanford in St. Philip from 11 o'clock this morning. Did you get the name of the lounge? Yes, you're right. It's called the Boobylicious Premium Lounge. So head on out and be a part of Q in the community as we celebrate 19. When I think of Q, a few names come back to me. The late Peter Wilkinson, who was the gentleman charged with training me when I came here to CBC, and he has made a really big impact on my life. Larry Mears, Archelaus Weeks, who's no longer here with us. Of course, Tony Thompson, Wendell Ford, and the guys who are here now. Andre is off. He's not feeling well. We miss you, and we want you back soon. Jaquila, Kimberly, and of course, the Admiral, the entire Q team. Happy anniversary, and thank you to all of the Q family who continue to support QFM. Hey, have a great day. Remember to wear your smiles, and please come on back to me tomorrow for the Friday edition of Morning Barbados. Bye-bye.